Ladies and gentlemen, to the broken-hearted, the betrayed, the ones who stood resilient through the storm only to now find themselves shattered. Yes, you. The ones who gave everything, your time, your trust, your love, and what did they give in return? Lies, deceit, betrayal. They dangled promises of the world in front of you, only to snatch it away at the last second, didn't they? Smiling while they tore you apart. But here's the thing, the twist no one sees coming. They will fall. Oh yes, they will fall, and when they do, it will be hard. Life has this uncanny way of balancing the scales, call it karma, justice, or fate, but those who sow deceit, who manipulate, who exploit, they never escape the consequences. They think they're invincible, untouchable, that they can weave their webs of lies and walk away unscathed. But let me tell you, no one can outrun the mess they've made forever. They build their little kingdoms on lies, thinking they're safe behind those fragile walls. But oh, how those walls crumble. And when they do, when their empire of manipulation collapses, it's poetic. It's the inevitable result of the destruction they've caused. They thought they'd escape the wreckage they left behind, walking away without a care in the world while you stood there, broken, with pieces of your heart scattered on the floor. But the truth, that wreckage, that mess, follows them like a shadow, growing darker and more dangerous with each lie they tell, each heart they break. One day they'll turn around, and that shadow will be there, looming ready to consume them. You see, they thought they were clever, didn't they? That they could manipulate you, deceive you, play their little games, and come out the other side without consequences. But they always overplay their hand. Always. And now you're sitting there, watching them from afar, thinking they're fine. They've moved on, they're happy, right? But that's the illusion they want you to see. They want you to believe they've won, that they've come out on top. But let me tell you, no one escapes their mess forever. No one outruns the truth. They may be laughing now, but behind that smile is fear. Deep down, they know what's coming for them. All the lies, all the betrayal, all the manipulation, they can't run from it. When the house of cards collapses, there will be no escape. They'll try to hide, they'll try to shift blame, but the truth is they dug their own graves the moment they decided to play with people's lives. Relationships, they're powerful things, aren't they? They can be the most transformative experiences of our lives or the most devastating. And those who treat relationships like a game, who use others like pawns in their selfish little plays, they're playing with fire. And fire always has a way of getting out of control. They don't see it yet. They're too blinded by their false victories, too caught up in their own ego to realize the mess they've created is growing, festering, waiting to consume them. You see, life has a way of making sure you reap what you sow, and these people, they sow nothing but heartbreak, destruction, and pain. They thought they could take without giving, that they could steal love, trust, and hope, and walk away untouched. But life doesn't work that way. No, they will fall hard. They'll trip over their own lies, get tangled in the webs they spun, and when it all comes crashing down, they'll have no one to turn to, no one to save them. The people they used, the ones they discarded, won't be there to pick up the pieces this time. They'll be standing on the sidelines, watching as the mess they created swallows them whole. And make no mistake, it won't be pretty. There won't be a dramatic realization of their mistakes, no sudden apology, no plea for forgiveness. No, it'll be slow. It'll be painful. Piece by piece, everything they thought they could control will slip through their fingers. Because here's the thing about people like that, they think they're invincible. They believe they can play with people's hearts, with people's lives, and come out the other side untouched. But in reality, they're building their own prisons with every lie they tell, every person they betray. That prison, it's closing in. Slowly but surely, it's trapping them in the mess they thought they could escape. You see, they thought they controlled everything, controlled you, controlled the narrative, controlled the outcome. But the one thing they can't control, consequences. And those consequences are coming for them. Now you might be wondering, why should you care? Why sit around and wait for their downfall when you could just move on, live your life, let it go? And you're right, you should. You don't need to dwell on their mess. But knowing their downfall is inevitable, it's not about revenge, it's about justice. It's about knowing that the truth always comes out, that lies always unravel, that the mess always catches up in the end. Because here's the real punchline, their downfall, It's not about them, it's about you. It's about you realizing that you never needed them. That you were always stronger than they made you feel, always worth more than they ever gave you credit for. Their downfall? It's the universe's way of showing you that they were never the problem, you were never the problem they were. So let them fall. Let them get trapped in their own lies, tangled in the web they wove. And you rise. You rise from the ashes of the destruction they left behind. You rebuild. You reclaim your identity, your power, your life. Because that's the real victory, isn't it? Not in watching them fall, but in realizing that their fall has nothing to do with you anymore. They'll fall, yes, but you'll soar. Because the truth is, they only had power over you as long as you let them. Their control, their manipulation, it was always an illusion. A game. And games, they always come to an end. So walk away. Leave them to the mess they've made. Let them fall, and you rise above it. Take the lessons, the pain, the heartbreak, and use it to fuel your growth. Because while they were busy playing games, you were learning, growing, becoming unstoppable. And now you're unstoppable. So let them fall. Let them face the consequences of their actions. Let them drown in the mess they created. And you move forward. Build something beautiful from the wreckage they left behind. Create a life so rich, so powerful, that their downfall becomes nothing more than a distant memory. Because in the end, their mess, it's not your problem anymore. It's theirs, and they'll have to deal with it alone. And that, my friends, is the sweetest justice of all. Let them fall. But here's the thing, my friends, this isn't just about their downfall. This is about you reclaiming the power that was always yours. You see, for too long you've allowed their lies, their manipulation, to dictate your worth. For too long you've been trapped in the narrative they created, a story where you were just a supporting character in their drama. But now, you are the author of your own story. Now, you realize that you've always been the hero. They tried to make you believe you were broken, but in truth, you were never broken, you were bending, learning, evolving. You were being tempered like steel in the fire of their betrayal, becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming more resilient. And here's the most important part, you've stopped playing their game. You no longer need to watch their fall with bated breath, waiting for the justice that life will inevitably serve. Because real power isn't in waiting for their collapse, it's in recognizing that their downfall has nothing to do with you. Their destruction, their suffering, that's their journey. Yours is to rise, to elevate beyond the chaos, to transcend the pain and build something so much greater, so much more magnificent than they could ever understand. You see, people like them, they thrive on control. They live for the moments when they can pull the strings, manipulate the narrative, make you doubt yourself. But now, you've cut those strings, you've shattered the illusion. You've stripped away their control, and that, my friends, is the greatest victory. Not only do they fall, but you rise untouchable, unshaken, and unstoppable. Because here's what they never understood, real strength comes from within. Real power is born from integrity, from knowing your worth, from standing in your truth, even when everything around you is trying to tear you down. And now you stand in that truth, unwavering. You've seen the games, the manipulation, for what they truly are, the desperate actions of small people trying to feel bigger. And now that you've seen it, you can't be fooled again. Their power, it was never real, but yours is undeniable. So while they fall, while their world crumbles, you are busy creating. You're creating a life filled with purpose, filled with passion, filled with an unshakable sense of who you are. You're no longer defined by what they did to you. You are defined by what you do next, by how you rise, by the way you turn that pain into power. You're no longer tethered to their mess, to their lies, to their broken promises. You've broken free. And here's the truth about freedom, it's exhilarating. It's liberating. Because for the first time in a long time, you're no longer looking back. You're not waiting for the inevitable. You're looking forward, eyes set on the horizon, knowing that your future is no longer shaped by their betrayal. It's shaped by your strength, by your resilience, by the undeniable fact that you've come out the other side not as a victim, but as a force to be reckoned with. This right here is your moment. not theirs. They had their moment. They had their chance to build something real, something meaningful. But they chose deception. They chose manipulation. And now they face the consequences of those choices. But you choose differently. You choose growth. You choose healing. You choose to rise above it all and become the version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than they ever imagined. So let them fall. Let their lies unravel. Let the weight of their deceit pull them under. And you stand tall, unshaken, as they crumble. Because your life, your story is no longer tied to theirs. You've reclaimed it. You've taken back the pen, and now you write the next chapter. And in this chapter, you don't just rise, you soar. Because you've realized something they never will. True power doesn't come from control. True power comes from knowing who you are, from standing in your truth, and from rising above every storm that tried to break you. And now you are unbreakable. Let them fall, my friends. Let them fall.